नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Beautiful rays of the sun dance and set into the waters of Mother Ganga. It's such a special and holy time to be here. And especially these days of Navratri. And today is the fifth day of Navratri, the fifth day dedicated to the Divine Mother. These sacred 9 nights, 9 days of the Mother Goddess, of all of the different forms, or rather 9 of the different forms of the Mother Goddess. And today, the fifth day, is dedicated to Skandamata. Take a moment and close your eyes and allow the energy, the awareness, and the focus to shift inward. This form of the Mother Goddess, Skandamata, is the mother of Skand, Kartikeya. And in her forearms, she holds the lotus flower in 2. She holds the mudra of blessing in the 3rd, and she holds her beloved child in the 4th. Take a moment and allow yourself to exhale into the arms of the Mother. Let the exhalation be deep, a coming home. Maybe even make it audible. Feel yourself going, ah. As we sink freely and deeply into the arms of the Mother, that arm that is always holding us, that arm that is always there, nourishing, nurturing, supporting us. Allow yourself to exhale deeply and feel yourself sinking into the lap of the Mother. doesn't matter how old we are, the mother's lap is always there. And in the lap of the mother, all of the fears, the challenges, the confusion, all of it dissipates. As we exhale and sink deeply into the lap of the mother. Gently bring the palms of the hands together at chest level and bow your head to the presence of Skandamata within yourself, holding you, nourishing, nurturing, protecting you. Bow to that presence of the Divine Mother within. And gently rub the palms of the hands against each other. And press them into the closed eyes. Slowly open your eyes and lower your hands. So today's Mother Goddess is Skandamata, the mother of Skand, Kartikeya. And she's this embodiment of that presence of the mother that is always holding us, no matter what else the mother has going on. Lotus flowers in two hands, mudra of blessing, var mudra, which is also, interestingly, abhaye mudra, the mudra of fearlessness. But we'll come back to that in a moment. But in that fourth arm, she's always got her beloved child. And it's a beautiful day to remember that regardless of the situation in your home of birth, regardless of the situation with the physical woman from whose womb you emerged, and what that home environment may or may not have been like, regardless of whether that physical being, that woman, was able to embody the fullest mother for you or not, the Divine Mother is always there. The Mother Goddess is always there. And so it's not a matter of, well, my physical mother wasn't always nourishing and nurturing, or my physical mother harmed me or abused or abandoned or betrayed me in some other way. There's so many stories, so many unfolding aspects of the life drama. But Skandamata reminds us, the Divine Mother, the Mother Goddess, is always there, holding us, nourishing us, nurturing us. We are always in the lap of the Mother. And as I mentioned, her third hand is in the mudra, the blessing mudra, var mudra, which is also the abode mudra, the mudra of fearlessness. And to me, this is so powerful. And she rides, of course, the lion, the symbol of absolute fearlessness. And to me, this is so powerful because she is this perfect embodiment of the nourishing, nurturing, caring mother and the fierce, fearless Devi. And it reminds us that energy of the Divine Mother in us, that energy of the Divine Feminine in us, is not about, are you nurturing and soft and gentle, or are you fierce? It's both. In the nourishing, in the nurturing, in the caring for her child, she's fierce. And of course, it's not just the mother of Skand, the mother of Kartikeya. The Divine Mother is the mother of all. So when we think about this power, it reminds us that as we care, as we protect, as we preserve, as we serve the sacred creation, all of our sisters and brothers of every form, as we channel our inner Skandamata, our inner Divine Goddess, our inner Divine Mother, as we bow to her and channel her and experience her within, that we embody these two very powerful forces, the force of caring, of nourishing, of nurturing, of protection, and the force of fearlessness. And that fearlessness which goes with blessing. The same mudra that is the mudra of blessing is the mudra of fearlessness. Because when we have that power of grace, that presence of grace, which stems from purity, and her chakra is the vishuddha chakra, the chakra of the throat chakra, which is the symbol of purity. So when we have that presence of true purity, we have the ability to bless. In the Hindu tradition, it is said that those of pure heart, those of pure mind, have the power to bless. This is why we have beautiful stories. I won't go into it now, but if you look at the story, for example, of Shravan Kumar and the parents of Shravan Kumar who gave the curse to King Dashrath, how could two simple people have the power to give such a powerful curse? Because they were of pure heart, of pure mind. So that power to bless, and of course, the power to curse, goes with those who are of pure mind, of pure heart, of pure intention, of pure being. So as our throat chakra, the vishuddha chakra, the energy center of purity, becomes awakened, becomes purified, we have that power to bless. And with that power of blessing comes fearlessness. Because where there is the pure heart, the pure mind, we know there's nothing to be afraid of. It's not that spirituality is an inoculation that life won't go up and down. It's not that spirituality is an inoculation that everything's going to go your way. The stock market, the traffic, interest rates, mortgage rates. It's not that. Spirituality is not a guarantee that everybody's going to do what you want, when you want it, or that the weather, that stock market will go your way. No. The fearlessness doesn't come from that. The fearlessness comes from knowing that that power of grace is with you. That power of purity is with you. And with that, everything is there. And when we think about the throat chakra and that power of purity, and especially since the color of today is blue, and the color of the throat chakra is blue, and as we are blessed here on these sacred banks of Mother Ganga in the lap of the Himalayas, just right above me is the sacred temple of Nilkand Mahadev. Well, Nilkand literally means the blue throat. And this is the mandir, the place where Bhagwan Shiv came after drinking the poison during the churning of the ocean, the Samudra Manthan. And after he drank that poison, he couldn't swallow it, because in order to swallow it, if he did that, it would destroy the inner world. But if he spit it out, it would destroy the outer world. And so he held it in his throat. And he came here to these sacred Himalayas, and he meditated. And we have this beautiful story today as we focus on the throat chakra, vishuddha, energy center, that reminds us, how do we attain that power of purity? That power to bless, that power to be fearless, that power to purify. We attain it through meditation. We attain it through all of our spiritual practices. These days of Navratri, these days of japa, these days of fasting, of upwas, of puja, of prayer. This is what purifies us. And so on these days at this time, we go within. Because when we are purified within, when that throat chakra opens, it's not just that our speech becomes powerful. It's that our entire life, our entire being becomes powerful. And that we become the embodiments of that power that blesses fearlessly, that nourishes, that nurtures, that holds, that protects fearlessly. So on this day, we chant together, Om, Devi, Skandamata Nama, Om, Devi. Skandamata Namah. Om. Devi. Skandamata Namah. Om. Devi. Skandamata Namah. Om. Devi. Skandamata Namah. Om. Devi. Skandamata Namah. Yes, we have questions this evening.
Whenever I think of something right or peaceful, my mind always asks, who is it thinking? Intellect, consciousness, higher self. When I meditate, I feel nice, but my mind chatter is increasing. It brings one question after another. How do I get rid of this and asking the question, who is it feeling?
Wonderful. And this is, in the school of Advaita Vedanta, in the path of what we call Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge, wisdom. These are the questions we ask. Who am I? Who am I? I'm not my thoughts. We know that I'm not my thoughts because if I am my thoughts, then I would cease to exist in between my thoughts. And if I cease to exist between my thoughts, who is the one having the next thought? So I'm not my thoughts, which means who's having them? Who in me is having these thoughts? I'm not my feelings, because my feelings keep fluctuating. One minute I'm happy, the next minute I'm sad. The world dances according to my tune. I'm very happy. What I want happens. I'm happy. Jaise मैं चाहती हूँ नहीं होता. I'm sad. People don't do what I want. The universe doesn't do what I want. I'm sad. So if my feelings keep changing, who's having them? These are the questions to ask. But they're not something to be confused about. They're something to meditate upon. And here's why. The mind only has the ability to utilize the mind to answer questions, which means that we end up in this cat chasing its tail situation. Because if I try to use my mind to understand the mind, we end up confused, we end up puzzled, we end up far from peaceful. The mind only works in separation. That's the quality of the mind. So it's very, very good at things like math problems. I can look at a math problem. 2 plus 2, okay, 4. I can hold something an arm's length away, look at it, understand it, analyze it, judge it. The mind can do things like lists of pros and cons, pluses, minuses. The mind looks at the world as separate from myself, which is wonderful. When I need to navigate traffic to get home, when I need to figure out whether I'm going to take this job or that job, when I need to figure out how to balance my checkbook, the mind is great. The dilemma comes when I try to understand the self. Because the mind can't do that. In order to understand the self, I have to experience oneness, unity, a melting and a merging of borders and barriers. But the mind functions, as I said, only in separation. So when we have these questions, the answer is to meditate upon them. Don't try to let the thinking mind figure them out. Meditate upon them. I can tell you the words. I can say, well, the thoughts and the feelings, both of them, are happening due to patterns of electricity, patterns of chemical reaction happening in the brain. Literally, we know this. We know that as the chemicals in the brain, as the electricity in the brain changes, so do my feelings. This is what drugs do to people. It's what alcohol does to people. A mere chemical in the brain changes how I think. Suddenly people who were very reserved, very sanskari, very well behaved, are dancing naked on tables. Why? Because they're drunk, because they're on drugs, right? All you've done is you've taken a chemical and you've put it into their brain, and suddenly someone of great reserve, of great sanskar, somebody you would say has great intellect, doing all kinds of stupid things because of the presence of some different chemicals in the brain. But that's only on the surface, because the chemicals in the electricity don't change themselves. They're not running rampant. There are patterns to them. And this is why some of us have certain thoughts, certain feelings. This is due to patterns, due to sanskaras, due to neural networks. And the beautiful piece of this is, you have the power to change it. As you program your brain, it changes your thoughts. It changes your feelings. This is where meditation, prayer, japa, seva, bhakti yoga, where all of these powerful practices that we engage in transform us. They change how we think, they change how we feel by changing the chemistry and the electricity in our brain. We know the way that spirituality literally changes the brain. What we also know is that habit changes our brain. So if I have a habit of thinking a certain way, feeling a certain way, reacting a certain way, and I start doing things differently, I engage in a new habit, I lay a new pattern, a new network, a new sanskara, it will change. So today, doesn't matter how long you've had other patterns, other habits, today is your day. Change them. Start something new. You can change your brain. You can change your thoughts, change your feelings, and therefore change the destination, the destiny of your life. Because your thoughts are vehicles that take you to your destiny. Misery or joy. It's a beautiful line that says, Man eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshaya. The mind is the key to your bondage or your freedom. Change your thoughts. You'll change your destiny.
Please make me understand who I am, the secret of the universe, or how our soul can feel happy even though our body is engaged with a lot of troubles.
So, who you are, who we all are, on the deepest core level is divinity, is infinity. Is infinity because it is divinity, because the supreme reality is infinite. And so whether we use the word soul or spirit or God or consciousness or love or truth, doesn't matter. That is who we are at the core. That which is never born, that which never dies. That which, as Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita so beautifully, cannot be burned by fire, cannot be wet by water, cannot be cut with knives or dried by the wind. That is who you are. You are not the fluctuations of life. You're not success or failure, wealth or poverty, joy or sorrow. You are that which is eternal, unchanging, evergreen. That's the core of who you are. And the purpose of our life, our dharma, is to realize that, to recognize that, to know that. And on another level, you are also here in a human incarnation. And that is very important to also be acknowledged and recognized. Your highest, deepest truth is soul, spirit, consciousness. And you have a body. And that body has the ability to serve, to help, to heal, to bring joy to others. That body is your vehicle of awakening. And so the way to fulfill that dharma, it's not about mujhe kuch nahi karna. I am just divine. Touch my feet, come to me, serve me, I am divine. Aham brahmasmi. No. Because in the awareness that I am divine is the awareness that all are divine, is the awareness that I am one with all, which means that I become a vehicle, a vessel, an agent, an instrument, a tool for healing, for others. Because I realize we are one. And yes, on the core level, it's all God. It's all soul. It's all perfection. And on the very human level, on the level of our very human heart, there is suffering. There is hunger. There is thirst. There is poverty. There are women dying in childbirth. There are orphans roaming the streets. There are trees being cut down. And our very human heart, and our very human hands, and our very human life is there to recognize our oneness with all of those and to serve, to be vehicles, vessels, agents, instruments, tools of healing for the planet. And to hold the awareness of both of those truths in our consciousness at the same time, that is the That is the highest and deepest dharma for all of us, to know, yes, it is all God. Yes, I am God. All is perfect. And yes, I need to feed this person. I need to heal this person, help this person, serve this person, protect the trees, protect the rivers. Be a tool, be an instrument in the hands of the divine to do God's work here on earth, while always remembering, I'm just a tool. The doer is God. Have a beautiful, sacred, divine 5th evening of Navratri. Feel, find, and connect with that presence of Skandamata within the self. Om Devi Skandamataye Namah. Om Devi Skandamataye Namah. She's in you. She's with you, holding you. Have a beautiful evening, a beautiful morning, a beautiful day, wherever you are. And so much love to you from the banks of our holy Mother Goddess Ganga.